Hello guys, what's up? How's it going? I really want to appreciate those of you that subscribe to my channel and anticipate my videos and my tutorials. Those of you that leave comments, I really appreciate that a lot. It encourages me. Please let me know that there is someone that the project is benefiting. Okay, before we start, please help me subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and give the video a like. This subscription and the subscribers, they really encourage me a lot to continue making content like this. Okay, so let's get to the business of the day. We're gonna be making this modern image viewer. I think the project cannot look nice, but you can let me know your opinion on the project in the comment section below. When you hover over this, it changes the filter from grayscale to from 100% to 0%, or rather to none. When you click on it, it select the image. Although it's kind of slowing down to load the images because the images are high resolution. I got them from Unsplash website. High res images, so they are heavy to load. Click on this, you click on this, you hover on it, and okay, so you skip also. Anywhere you stopped, you can pick it from there, and whatever images is on focus, that particular one is gonna be highlighted here, or should I say, it will remove the filter from it. You can also go back. I think we also got some kind of a mobile responsive view. Let me take this down to, let me even remove this mobile altogether. Can adjust a little bit here, and it's kind of quite responsive. Wow, down to the last. Well, it's not bad altogether. All right, let me bring in the console and clear all this. I'm not gonna be working with this side, so I think I can afford to let it go. All right, so let's get to the project folder. I've created this folder here, Modern UI Image Viewer 2. That is second one I'm making. All right, this is our content here. We've got an image inside the folder, so it contains all these images here. High res images, you hover on one of them here like this. This one is 2.67 MB, quite high. So it takes a little bit of time to load. 7.92 MB, wow. So you can get the reason why some of them are kind of taking time to load a bit. All right, yeah, what else? Let's go back. We got this web font. I can't really explain exactly how this web font works, but it's just that it removes some kind of errors and warnings from my console when I'm debugging, and it doesn't cluster my, it doesn't cluster my space. This favicon, it kind of make request. The console makes a request of something called favicon.ico. I just created a file like that for it. It's not that I actually make use of it. Then this is font awesome CSS and JavaScript for the two icons I used here. So it was kind of easier for me than creating another icon by myself. I just wanted to do something quick here. Okay, I think that is it. So I've opened it already in VS Code here, and let me go live. Don't worry, it's actually kind of rendering the entire folder. Nothing to worry about. Once I put index.html, it's gonna clear all this and bring in the web page. Okay, let's go index.html style.css, then app.js. Okay, for those who have been following my videos, I always have to change this to HTML at all time. Then let's spit out our boilerplate. Modern image viewer. What did I name it? Okay, yeah, that's correct. Let's bring in our CSS. Okay, let's bring in JavaScript so we do not forget and think we've got a bug in the code. Script app. Then we're gonna bring in the font awesome. Let's just duplicate this. Font awesome on the JS. Then we're gonna come here and bring in bring in font awesome again here for the CSS. Okay, I think we've got a basic setup done here. All right, let's close up this space so we don't need it. Okay, let's get busy. First, we're gonna make container. We'll make a viewer. Did I get that correct? Okay, let's refresh and see what we got. Bam, we're in business. Okay, this container is gonna be this background here, or this kind of white color we're getting here. That is the container. Then the viewer is gonna be this rectangle here. This container for the image is gonna be the viewer. Okay, then we're gonna have a subsidiary, a subsequent folder, div here called thumbnails. Thumbnails, yeah, that's correct. Thumbnails. Okay, thumbnails is gonna be this. All the container for containing all these elements, all these, how many are there? 2, 4, 3, these 16 images. So this is gonna be the thumbnail, the container for holding them. Okay. I think let's make the content for the viewer. Let's put an image within it. Create an image div. The source is gonna be the image folder / we're gonna use 1.jpg. Is that the first one I used there? And the alternate text, in case it fails to display, should be ... Let's refresh. I think this should come here since there's a current project we're working on. So this high resolution image is gonna fill the screen, but not to worry, we're gonna work on that in a moment. Then after that, we're gonna have those 2 screw options here. We're gonna have this skip or forward or screw, whatever you call them. We're gonna have the 2 of them in here. We're gonna create a class called nav. Let's try something. Nav multiplied by 2. Yeah, not bad. So we're gonna call one left, because that's gonna be the left skip button or rather previous. Then we're gonna call the other one left and right. Then we're gonna bring in a font awesome to bring in the icon i.fas.fa -angle -left. By the way, the font awesome and the pictures, the images I used here, all these resources here, this font awesome, these 2 files, and this image, and this web font, I'm gonna be uploading them to the GitHub repository, so you can go there and download the resources. You don't need to get them separate, or if you want to get them separate, you can also do so. Or you might not even want to use this font awesome. You can even use previous and next here instead of these icons. You can use previous and next and get this project done. But if you want to make it to look exactly like this one, then you can go to the GitHub repository, and I will put a link on the YouTube to go and download the whole project. All right. So with that one taken care of, I'm gonna make for the other dude. Let me just copy this and drop it in here. The angle. Right. Let's go down here and see what we got. Okay, they're showing here, so we're on the right track. Okay. I think I'm gonna try to rush this video a little bit. I don't want it to take too much time. I think we're done with this section here. Right, so we're gonna enter thumbnails. And all we need to do in thumbnails is gonna be to create a div called thumbnail, not thumbnails, thumbnail. And I'm gonna create yet another div called image. I think we will put ... for the alternate text. Then we're gonna come to source. We're gonna call this one image /1.jpg. Double decker. All right. Then with that taken care of, let me see, is there any extra stuff I added here? Just checking my second screen. No, nothing. So I want to duplicate this thing in peace without having to go back and start correcting stuff. Whoa, I think I skipped something. It's actually a div called image first. Then I'm gonna take this dude inside it. Okay, I think we are going to go with set. Okay, so next, let me just duplicate for, let's say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Whoa, that's a lot of images there. Let's see how many I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right. Now I need to go change them up. Let's just do that once and for all and just focus on the styling and JavaScripting and whatnot. I think I'll label the next one image 10. What a very funny numbering system here. Next one is image 2. It doesn't matter in order in which you do this. You can actually do your CSS first before you come back and change all that stuff. It's still not really a big deal in the order you follow. But just for those who are still starting in the coding, just not to be confused, just follow exactly what I do. In case if you get stuck somewhere, you can actually know where you lost and take corrections. This should be 6. The next image is going to be C3. Yeah, the numbering is kind of funky. That's because I had to bring in extra images due to some kind of styles I was testing out. That's why you're getting this weird numbering pattern here. Next one is 9. Next one is going to be C5. The next one is going to be, I think, C11. .jpeg, obviously. This is going to be C1. The next one is going to be 13. The next one is going to be 14. The next is going to be 16, then 17. 16, 17, and we are dope. All right. Wow. Don't even bother looking at this. It's really, really funky. All right, let's get to the styling. Okay, let's hit it. Give everything a padding of 0 pixel and a margin of 0 pixel, then box sizing, the usual JavaScript, our CSS tradition, then HTML, body. I don't even see the reason why I should put HTML together. It should just be body, but never mind. Font family, my addictive font, Montserrat. I make use of this font a lot, and then alternate font in case you don't get Montserrat. Then background color, FOF8FF. Okay. Container. Gonna rush this styling a bit because I actually want to focus on JavaScript aspect of the project. Make it 100%. Make the height 630 pixel. Make the padding 1 rem. Top and bottom, I think, is in 0 rem, left and right. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, we proceed. Next is gonna be viewer. I'm gonna start with background color first. Let it be black. I'm gonna explain the reason for that later. Alright, you're gonna see the reason for that later. So if you go back to this place, you see, let me click on this guy here. This black here, just like your Android device, this black here, because the image is not gonna, or not all the images are gonna fill the screen. So this black here is the reason why we made that place black. Okay, so next is gonna be width. It's 650 pixel. And the height is gonna be 350 pixel. And the margin is gonna be auto. And I want it to be in the center. But we're not really gonna be able to observe all this stuff because these images are really stuck. Okay, it's even showing here. Where is my screw? Yeah, the content is centered here at least. Okay. Overflow. Hidden. Sorry guys, I really don't want to spend too much time to explain this CSS that much. I really want to get to the JavaScript aspect of this. Display is gonna be flex. Flex direction is gonna be column. If I put row, it's still gonna be the same thing. It doesn't really matter which one I use for this case. Justify content is gonna be center. And line items center. Wow. There we go. Now the content is constrained. The viewer is kind of constrained to be here. So, and not only that, it kind of the overflow is really hidden. So it's like it's centered in the center of this box. All right, let's proceed. Viewer, target the image that is a direct descendant. Not really. Target the image that is within viewer, just like the stuff here. Where is it? Let's go up. This guy here, viewer, and the image that is a child within viewer, div. Target it and give it a mean height of 100%. Here, 100%. Okay, now you're gonna see there is actually a space here. Is for this left and right buttons here that we have not styled. That's actually what is showing up here. Okay, let's proceed. Now let's tie those nav. That's these two here. We're styling them now. I'm gonna say now this is where we're gonna go back here. We're gonna go back here and let's get them color set first so we can actually see what they are. We're gonna get them background color off. F6 in this places and 98 to give it opacity. Yeah, we get this dude here. It's actually centered in the middle, and they actually overlap on each other. Okay, they are overlapping. It is on top of each other. That's why you're only seeing one. Is on top of each. Is on top of the other. Okay. Then I think I might want to. Okay, let's see if I can style it first before dealing with the position. Then the color is gonna be default black. Then the width is gonna be 35 pixel. The height is gonna be 35 pixel. Let's see what we go. Yeah, we get this. Am I making a mistake somewhere? Width 35, height 35, color black. Okay, border radius 50 per pixel. Alright, I think we'll fix that squashy look here. Fix it soon. display, flex direction, not that it really matters, column, justify content, center, align item center. Then I'm gonna add, okay, there's no need for that now. Okay, this taken care of. Now I'm gonna go back to this viewer and give it a position of relative. That is so that we can be able to, what is that? Okay, can be able to get this. At least we're gonna disrupt the flow of this. Then we're gonna come back to the nav, the position of absolute. Bingo. And it looks like a charm. Very good. So the next stuff we're gonna do now is to deal with the individual item here, left. We can select left. Actually have a left of 20 pixel. It is gonna give a distance of 20 pixel from here. Yeah, 20 pixel from the edge of the parent container. Same go for right. We can just duplicate this guy here and right the wrong. Okay, we're done with this. So to put this this fancy stuff, this hover effect here, I'll just go here and say, I want to show you guys something in case this is your first time of seeing this. I'll go up here and say nav on hover, the background color be just pure white. If I hover on it, it's harsh. The transition is very harsh. There's nothing smooth there. So to fix that, you just go here and say transition, say all, in case if you want to add extra properties. Duration is going to be 4.4 seconds, and then it's going to be ease in and ease out. So we've taken care of that. Then let's get down to thumbnails. Thumbnails with 650 pixel, margin, auto, display, grid. Or I can just, let me turn this off. I want to explain something first. I want to deal with the thumbnail itself. Okay, let me leave that alone for now. Let me deal with the image div. Mind you, this is the hierarchy. Thumbnail is the parent, which is this overall box containing all these images. Then thumbnail is actually an invisible, not invisible though, you can actually see it from here. There is another box, another div that contains this image div here. So that one is the one I call the thumbnail. Then the image div is actually this one that's got this border radius. Yeah. So, and I'm gonna show you the reason why I did that. It's for the sake of the grid display I'm gonna use. It requires that in order to get all this stuff to properly aligned like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do about the image is the image div. I'll give it a background of black, and you're gonna know the reason why soon. I might just explain it here, so that when I yeah, because of the filter. I think I'll explain that later. Okay, let's proceed with 120 pixel, and height is going to be 80 pixel. All right. Whoa. What am I looking at her? Whoa. This looks rather interesting. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, but that's not a focus shot. But if you can pick something from here in a project you're working on, that can be cool. It can be another unexpected takeaway. Okay, now let's deal with the image. The image div and the image element within it. And that's gonna be width 100%. Perfecto. With 200%, okay? So we get this guy here. Wow, they're actually stacked nicely. I think I love this stuff, but we can't keep it like this, can we? Okay, now the height is gonna be 100%. Okay, so I think we should have equal sizings here. Then we're still gonna come back to image, but for now, let's go back to image div. This dude over here. Say display flex. Just want to center its content. Flex direction column, which is not really compulsory something, because even though it is row, since it's just one element we have there, without putting flex direction, we can still get the stuff we want. Justify content, it's gonna be center, and align items is still gonna be center. Overflow is gonna be hidden. I'm not even sure if this particular extra stuff I'm adding are that really necessary. Okay, then border radius, that's gonna be 4 pixels. All right, we got it. It's not looking bad at all. Okay, so next stuff we're gonna do now will be who's gonna be the next stuff we'll deal with now. Okay, let's get to thumbnail and see what we got here. I want to do something to explain this thumbnail thing here. Solid. We'll make it solid. I'm gonna make it red, so we can just take a look at what it is. Perfecto. Don't mind me, we have been learning Spanish on Duolingo, so sometimes you can get to hear some outburst of Spanish. Okay, so what we're gonna do on this guy here is just leave my cities. Now let's go back to thumbnails. That's this guy here, this whole box. Let's get back to it and see. Thumbnails, we say display to be grid, and let's see what we have. Okay, and let's say GTC grid template columns, and I'm gonna say repeat auto fit, comma min max, open bracket, 100 pixel, let it be 5 fractions. So okay, say give us 1 2 3 4 5. That's a we want to actually get 1 2 3 4 5 arranged. 1 2 3 4 5 arranged, not up to 6, arranged on this space of 650 pixel. So let's give it a gap, grid gap. Let's make it 15 pixel. So the extra space that will be created now is going to force one of these guys to come down. Bingo, and it has just done that. Okay, so it's beginning to look like this dude. But not exactly like this guy, because this very line here is totally, should I call it parallel? They are properly aligned. All right, let's go back. Then within thumbnails, we're gonna have margin top, empty, 15 pixel. Perfect. So now created a neat space here to keep this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's like it's like I added extra something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extra stuff. That doesn't mean. Okay. So let's go back to thumbnail. Just do it itself. I'm gonna say display flex direction column. Justify content, center, align items. Align items center. Let's see what we got. Perfect. Okay. And this thumbnail, mind you, this thumbnail is this red stuff here. We didn't give it a size. It's this red stuff you're seeing here. Okay. I think it's shaping up. Then I'm gonna say let's take it out. So what this red stuff did, although based on the pattern I follow to build this stuff, is not best explained. It's not best explained, but what it does that these particular shapes are already rigid. In other words, their width have been set. So since their width have been set, when I am moving, let's assume I did not put, okay, when I'm moving, well, okay, I've not put responsive yet, no problem. We'll get to that. Okay, what next anyway? I think we've cleared this part. And let me go back to the image. This image here, I'm gonna say filter, not fill, filter. I would say grayscale should be 100%. Bingo, got all this blackiness in here. Then let's see, this is looking very washed out, and this one is looking a bit dark. And where is that problem coming from? Yeah, opacity. Opacity is going to be 0.3. Bingo, we got it. Then what next is going to be the transition. We can just go here and copy the transition of this guy here, because I want that effect to be very smooth. Then I'm gonna copy this. Let me just copy this dude, bring him down, put the hover. Bring it down, put in the hover, and let's clear this. Remove this. Let's take this up. Let the opacity be 1 on hover. Let the opacity return to 1, and let the grayscale, let the filter be none. Okay, so we have achieved the same effect we got here. Let me refresh this one. This one takes a bit of time to load, I think it's because of the images and all. Yeah, okay, it's because of the images. Wait for them to load. My system has kind of been doing a heavy job these days, so it's kind of slowing stuff down a lot. Yeah, we get this. Keep load. We'll get similar stuff here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna quickly add a media query here. Just at media. want to make this width responsive 90%, and I make the overflow. Let me see. Okay, so at 90%, I want some certain kind of characteristics to kick in. 98 is kicked, sorry, not 90%, at 700. The breaking point 700, which is here. Let's go. You can just check out this top here. Once it hits 700 here, 700, it kicks in. Now you're beginning to see this extrusion here. We don't want it, so we're gonna come here and say let overflow, because the text, the content are overflowing. Let it be hidden, and that fixes that up when I adjust. Now while we're getting this smooth, let me come here. Let me think this is where I can actually explain this guy. Where is he? Yeah, here's the dude. Here he is. I think he should have an no, he shouldn't have. He should have an overflow of hidden. It's gonna really affect the content. Or let me try it. Overflow hidden. Let me see what that's gonna give us. It wasn't actually in the original one. Okay, let me remove this border. Let me remove this border and see what we got. Now it's hiding that aging. It's gonna hide the box radius here, and I don't want that. So I'll remove this. It's not necessary. Let's put this back on for sake of explanation. Okay. So the ones with the red rectangle, the thumbnail, is actually being controlled by the flex. So the rigidity of these images will not allow them to be manipulated or kind of squished. Therefore, this is actually the one that get the squishing, and it simply centers its content. So that's just the basic explanation I can give for now. Maybe I'll make a separate video on that to explain a couple of these let's say CSS phenomenons. All right, with that one taken care of, I think we got something that resembles the original one here. Okay, so I think we're about to dive into JS. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this on. I think I need to turn this. Let's clear this here. All right, so let's open our JavaScript. We're going to begin bringing some element. Const viewer, we're going to bring in the viewer. Document dot query selector QS. How many more do we have to bring in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 extra more. Let's hit down. Whoa. That's my trying to get a shortcut on my VS Code, and accidentally made the window to flip the screen. I think that shortcut should be Shift Alternate. Yeah. 5 of them. Okay. The next one I'm gonna bring in is gonna be the navigation left. We'll call it here left. Then we're gonna bring in navigation right. Call it here right. We're gonna bring in the images, the image in the thumbnail. What did I call it here? Thumbnail. It's gonna be thumbnail, then image. That's this guy here. Where is he? That's this image, not this image here, but this image. Thumbnail, then this image. We skip this one. JavaScript cannot recognize it better. All right. So the first thing I want to do is okay, it needs to reload. Wow, we're gonna have a whole lot of that. Let's see. What's the first thing I want to deal with? I want to make this on initial loading. Let this first page be, let it be selected or highlighted. So I will say, I think I missed something here. Yes, I knew I did. This is query select all because there is more than one element there with that name. Reference, it's just not, don't mind it. It's because the network is very slow. The slow loading is the reason why it's bringing this error. It logged the error first before the browser could finish before the writing could be completed and the browser could finish loading. That's when it logged this error. It's not really anything serious. Thumbnail, the first element here. We can just console log it, just to let you know. Console log. I'm gonna copy this dude or rather cut it, put it in here. Oh. Yeah, here we go. I really apologize, guys. This system is it's getting kind of slow. It's getting overworked. But this here is supposed to reflect here just by hovering over it. So this is it. At least you can see the image here. So we just picked it up. We can now go back here, say, okay, let's say, let's give it a style. Dot opacity. One. Duplicate. Want to get another property, say filter to be none. Okay, let's wait for it to finish loading. Perfect. So it's already taken that properties already. Let me turn this off. I don't want this to be loading unnecessary stuff. Then the next thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna create a counter. But before we do that, there is more like a much more sensitive stuff we need to deal with first. Let me see. Okay, let me explain a concept first before we proceed. I just want to make sure that if you're watching this video for the first time, you can really be able to grab what is going on here. Because this JavaScript part is actually the most important part of all this, according to, I think it's actually the most important part of this tutorial. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to bring out this element here so that we can take a look at it, this picture here. I'm gonna say viewer dot get attribute. So if we go back to this place, the viewer has got an attribute and it's called source. Hold on. Okay, I made a mistake. Going back here, we actually targeted the image inside the viewer, not just the viewer div. It's the image inside the viewer is what we targeted here. So it's actually this image here. This image has got a source and it's called image/1.jpg. So get attribute source. Then I'm gonna console log. I can just cut this, put it in here, and let this load and see what we got. Wow. How to refresh again? This system is really slowing down. Perfect. So it spat out exactly the name of this the address and the name of this image here, because that's what we're going to be working with. Then the next thing we're going to do here, we're going to say, let's try something. we have done viewer.get attribute. Let's say viewer dot set attribute, so we can change that. We're still gonna do the same for source, but this time around we're gonna say set it to let's use this backticks with this is it object temporal or object literal? I can't really get the exact name. We say, is that really necessary? There may not be need to put this. We can just come here, go to image and see 3.jpg, image slash 3.jpg, image slash 3.jpg. Let's see what we got. We're waiting for it to load. Okay, it said not found. All right, let's put this and see. Set attribute source, and this is the address we gave it. What did we get wrong here? Is there nothing like 3.jpg here? There is. Okay, it's blah 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 blah. Okay, may not want us to go through this approach. Never mind. Let's get on with the main stuff of the day. Now let's create a counter. Let me turn this off. We're gonna use this counter. Sorry. Let's say let counter equals to 0. Then I'm gonna create a function called counter index. Then within the function, I'm gonna come and bring in this thumbnail. Say thumbnail, that's this guy here. Mind you, the thumbnail is more than one image, it's the series of these images here. The whole lot of all these images here, which actually interpret as all the images in this place. So we're gonna say thumbnail.forEach. This is actually an ES6. One of the ES6 array method for looping through a collection of elements. Say I'm gonna give one element. Then I'm also gonna get another argument, or should I call it parameter, called index. Okay, so I'm gonna console log, so we can actually see what is going on here. Element. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna have to refresh it again. Wow, this is killing me. Let me quickly open Firefox and see if it can come to the rescue here. Okay, let me copy this address. Okay, more tools. Developer tool. Here it is. I think that should be down here. Okay, and what is it am I looking at here? Console. Okay. Console the log element. Thumbnail. Okay, I've not called the function, sorry. My bad. It's not the fault of the browser, it's just my mistake. I've not called the function yet. So I'm gonna Ctrl C, Ctrl V, call the function here. And then we're gonna have a list of the images here. Sorry I'm taking a lot of time here, guys, but I really want to explain the JavaScript very well for those of you that really wants to JavaScript kind of your pain point and you really want to understand the kind of code that made this thing to work. That's why I'm taking my time to explain the JavaScript aspect. So these are the images. Over on it, they're supposed to turn blue here. Okay, so that is it about that. Now, let me put this index so you can see. Let's check something here. Because we're going to be working with that index a lot. In fact, the index is actually what is going to be responsible for is what's going to be responsible for. Let me go back to the finished project. Okay, this is what's going to be responsible for when I click on this next and previous to pick a particular number. So what the index is all about is in an array, in JavaScript array, index assigns every element or every item in the array a number starting from 0. So the first one is index 0, second one is index 1. Let's go up here. First element here, I think that's this dude, index 0. Second element here, which is this guy here, index, which is this guy here, index 1. Second one, third one, index 2. So the index 1 is what we're going to use together with this counter. Where is it? Together with this counter variable to create the effect of nexting and selecting the element after and before. Okay, so let's go back. I think I can turn this off now. So what next I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna say if index, that's the number, the position, or the position assigned to each of the elements, if it is equals to the counter let the viewer dot set attribute backticks, because I want to put this is it template literal element dot get attribute. All right, let me explain this. This counter is controlled by these two options here, left and right, left and right, left and right. So when I click on left, or rather next, or rather right, when I click on right, which is next, it's going to increase this counter by 1. Also, when I click on left, it's going to decrease the counter by 1. And as that is going on, as the increase and decrease in the counter value is taking place, it's going to be reflecting to the indexes. So if I increase this by 1, automatically it's going to be this, or this is index 1, this image here. If I drop it by 1, taking it back to 0, it's going to be this image here. If I increase it by anything and make it become 2, it's going to become this image of this what is it called, this Bugatti here. If I make it to be 3, it's going to be image of this stuff here. So the control of the left and the previous and the next clicking of the buttons is going to affect which image is selected. So you say whenever I call this function and the index is equals to the counter, it's equals to the counter, which is 0. Now viewer.set attribute source, let it be element.get attribute. So let it be the element, which is this image here. Let it be this image, and whatever the source of this, okay, supposed to be whatever the source of this element is, which is element.get attribute source. Then viewer.set attribute source, but let the value of that be element.get attribute source. Okay, that taken care of. So let me refresh. Okay, so the counter is actually equals to 0. That's why we get this. But I'm gonna do more than that. I'm gonna also say else. There is still something else we want to happen when that happens. Okay, I think we can leave this like this for now. Let me proceed add. Let me work on this. Okay, let me work on this next. This left and right buttons here. Because they're the one who's gonna be calling they're the one that's gonna be calling the function. You can say navigation right. Add event listener. Click. Just call a function, create a function called next. Say function next, and it's gonna take a parameter. They just console log e dot target, just to be sure we got the guy. I think this should be right, so that's the next one. When I click on this, let it refresh. When I click on this, it picks this SVG icon here because I clicked on it directly. But when I click outside here, it picks this element here. So we're on the right place. Let's get back here. We're saying when we do that click in action, we want to call a conditional. I want to say if counter is greater than thumbnail, dot length. Let me show you something here. First of all, let me clear this out. I want to show what this thumbnail dot length means. This thumbnail dot length is actually the length of these guys. The length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah 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 down to 16. The length of all these images. That's thumbnail dot length. So when I click on this, I want to find out what the length is. I think I've clicked on this, haven't I? Whoa, let's refresh. Yeah, it's 17 images. 17 images. Okay, so I can turn it off. So if the counter is greater than thumbnail, the entire length minus 1. Sorry, let me turn that on. Minus 1. Return. Now this is what I'm, okay, I think I will show this one later to better understood when I show later. But first of all, let me hide it. Then I'm gonna say else counter is incremented by 1. So this is what is going to happen. I'm going to bring in counter here, but I will say console log. This one doesn't need to be here anymore. Okay. Mind you, let this finish loading. Mind you, this right navigation bar here is meant to increase the number of the counter, thereby picking the index or the element that matches that particular number. So when I click on this, counter has become 1. Click again. Counter has become 2. Click again. Counter is 3. Click again. It's 4. It's 5. Okay. So it's incremented by 1 and it's bringing the current value of the counter. Okay. But this time around, this is what we want to happen. Instead of just start increasing, we're going to say bring in a particular function we created. What is that? That's counter index, which is the function we created here. And that function says pick the element whose index is equals to the counter. Take the attribute, get the attribute which is the source, get the source of the image of that element, and make it become the source of the image of the viewer. So when we click on this guy, let me see if I have to refresh. Perfect, we get it. All right, we got that. So now there is something I put here. I said return. Initially I put return here, which means don't do anything, but something is gonna happen here, because if the counter is greater than the length of the thumbnail, because we have no control over the number of element here. They're already 17 and we can't do anything about it again, but we can actually be doing something on this counter, make it past 17. We're already getting to 14, 15, okay, which is 16 here, which is this guy here. If I click on this again, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. So it's actually say do nothing. So return is actually the proper way to tell it, don't give us an error. Okay. All right. So with that one taken care of, you can already guess the next thing we'll do. Just make a duplicate of this and create for the left wing, or the left navbar left. Sorry, navigate the left. I'll call this one previous. What did I even name it here? Let me check my second screen. I named it prev. Okay, so prev is gonna be if the counter is equals to 0. Let me turn this off so we can see something. Do nothing. Change this to negative. We're still gonna call the same function and still call the counter so that we can actually see what the counter look like. Okay. Let's refresh and clear the console out. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I'm still calling the same function. This should be previous. Right? Okay, let's. Okay. 1, 2. If I click on this, it goes back to 0, then goes back to 1, then goes back to 0. It does nothing. But the official way to fix that is going to be to put the return keyword here. In some other instances, it's going to produce an error without putting that return there. So that one has been taken care of. Let's test run it and see we got this correct. Click on this, click on this, click on this. Till we get to the last element. we are at the last element, so that worked very well, but it is not smooth. Okay, let's get back. Now the next thing we need to deal with here is gonna be the styling. But before we do styling, let's do styling first. Let's do styling first. Okay, I'm gonna create a function. Because this is the only way you can actually get this thing, at least one of the ways you can get this thing to work. If not because our time is already exhausted, I would have explained to you another alternative or an approach you might take if you have to build this project on your own. Some of you guys that have not yet, if you're okay, let me say beginners. A beginner might just take that approach and it can actually be difficult. So I encountered that problem. So I created this function to handle all the necessities of changing function. And I want to build for this guy here. Whoa, my system is seriously hooking here. Seriously hooking here. This highlight here, or this effect here, I want to work on that now. So I'll create a function, call it check style. The function is going to say for every thumbnail or every element and its index, if index if the index is equal to counter, do something. And what is that? Element dot style dot transition or 0.3 seconds is in, is out. Transition, let me be sure I got the spelling correct. Transition, okay. Then do something again. Let me just duplicate this into 3 places. Opacity. Let's return the opacity back to 1. Then the filter. Set the filter to none. Yeah, then else. Let's copy out this both these guys here and set it like it was in the CSS and make this to be grayscale 100%. Let's see if we did not break anything here. Okay, I need to call the function. So whenever I click, more like, whenever the index is equal to counter, call this function. And when it is not, still call the function. What happens is that when it comes into this place, it knows the appropriate one to select. Let's refresh. Wow, this video is taking longer than longer than I had hoped to spend on it. Really, I really apologize, guys. This slow system really contributed to it. Well, I'm gonna have to refresh again. Okay, let me see. I think I made a mistake somewhere. Where is it? That should be count as no blah blah 16. Line 16. Yeah, there it is. Put E here to complete it. Yeah. Okay, load. Alright, here we go. Perfect. We got that one fixed up. Then we go back. We get the same stuff. Okay, so where else am I gonna have to call these functions? I think that's basically it about this guy here. So the next one is gonna be for whenever I click on the element, let the same thing happen as there will be as the viewer is gonna take the source of that element. So it's gonna be displayed here. Let the same effect let it happen. Okay, so that's gonna be thumbnail dot for each. I just wanna call this one here image. I'm still gonna bring in the index. So image dot add event listener. Image dot add event listener. Gonna use the click function. Just a simple arrow function. Gonna call now. Let me explain this path. Anytime I click on any of the image, okay, let me do this rather. Let me console log so we can better understand this. Image index. Whenever I click on any of the images, let the value of the counter, which determines the value of the counter, where is it? Where is the guy? The value of the counter, which determines which of the element should, which of the images, or which of the box of images should be displayed. Whenever I click on each of the images this time around, not just incrementing the counter, but this time around, whenever I click on each of the images and I hit on this guy here, what is going to happen is that let the counter, which all of them are, which I'm the viewer, is taking its cue from, let the counter become equal to the index of that particular element. And if that becomes the case, then automatically let the viewer become that image. So when I click on this guy now, okay guys, show me something, console log, the for each, click, blah blah blah, counter, refresh. Okay, when I click on this guy, let the element display and let its value also be displayed, let its index be displayed. So the counter is automatically becoming 4, 7, instead of going 1, 1, 10, down to the last one here, 16, 3, and all that stuff. So counter has now become equal to the value of the index. As that one is done, let's just copy. Okay, let me not copy so that let me just leave out the copying part and say let viewer dot set attribute. As I want to give it an attribute which is the source, or rather changes attribute source. Use these backticks. $, let image dot get attribute. Let it still be the source. So let's try it out. Okay, we are faster than ourselves. Let's refresh. Okay, we got this. So the last thing now is to put that effect. So to simply do that, we're gonna, since we used if conditional, Okay, we're just gonna wrap this inside an if conditional. We say if index is equals to counter. If index is equals to counter, what's gonna happen? Let this dude here, let him happen. And if it is not, sorry, I forgot something here. I'm really rushing here. Let's check style. Let's call that function back. And if it is not, still call that function, but you're gonna be surprised. Two functions were called here, but they're actually doing two different things. It's because we set that here. Two functions being called, their performance and their execution will determine on the kind of law that is being obeyed here. If this is satisfied, if this parameter here is satisfied, any one of them that is called can actually behave as expected. Okay, so let me run this and see what we got. I think we got it. It's functioning exactly. It's functioning exactly as expected. And anywhere we are, we can actually take it from here to skip. Then there is one more thing I was not able to fix because someone requested for this video. So he kind of wanted to see me make the video, so I was not able to fix that. If I hover on this, it doesn't behave like it did at the beginning. And I've been trying to fix that bug. And if you're able to fix that problem, for example, let me refresh. Let me refresh. This is the one we're working on. Wow, that's still taking time. Okay. At the initial stage, whoa. Let me refresh again. Okay, this effect here, I don't know why it's not showing on this guy here. Okay, this, well, it's kind of stopped. Okay, so this effect, when I hover on this, yeah. Oh boy, just give me a second there. Okay, yeah, when I hover on this at first, they are changing, effects have been removed. But when I click on it, which means there is some function when I code, you remove this one's ability to execute that CSS. If anyone is able to fix that problem, please let me know. Please, you can email me. I think you should be able to pick up from you should be able to pick the email from my YouTube, or I'm gonna put my link to my social media: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and yeah, that's basically. I'm gonna put a link there. You can actually reach me and then actually share the solution with me if you're able to fix it. And please, guys, help me subscribe. I think we've come to the end of the video here. Help me subscribe, like, comment, and also share the project. Your subscription really means a lot to me. And also, if you're interested, I'm building a front-end tutorial, a front-end course, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap. I want to build that first before I begin to build a backend with Python and Django framework. So the project is actually still in progress. I'm not yet done with it, but I'm gonna soon be done with it and make the videos for it and put it on Udemy and that edX. And if you also want one-on-one mentorship or training on programming, front-end development, you can let me know. Alright, thank you very much, guys. See you in the next video. Don't forget to let me know what you think and keep on practicing. Thanks.